is a blind tiger? And what does one have to do with Prohibition? For that matter, how did Charleston, South Carolina fare during Prohibition? Hi, I'm the Seersucker Guy, and for the answers to those questions and more, stick around. And maybe get yourself a drink. Trust me, it's appropriate. Now, to understand what a blind tiger is, you have to understand Prohibition. And to understand how Charleston got through Prohibition, you have to go back to the beginning. So, I propose a toast to Charleston, South Carolina, a drinking town with a historical problem. When Captain Joseph West arrived in Charlestown in April of 1670 with 140 settlers, he had 4,000 gallons of beer and 30 gallons of brandy, and that's for 140 people. Just a few months later, Captain West complained that they were addicted to the rum and could do little while their noses were in the bottle. In 1681, the first Anglican minister, Reverend Williamson, was fired because he got drunk and baptized a bear. And within just a few years, an ordinance was passed for the suppression of idle, drunken, and swearing persons. And this is just the beginning, because by the time of the American Revolution, there was one tavern for every 5 adult males in Charlestown. Some of the things Charlestonians liked to drink included all manner of rum punches. In fact, Charleston is one of several places to claim the invention of Planter's Punch, which would have been invented at the Planters Hotel, where the Dock Street Theater is today. Probably wasn't invented there, but Charlestonians certainly claim it. The other thing we drank a lot of in the old days was Madeira. Madeira has not really made the comeback it deserves. It is a fortified wine. So on your way over here, you would pick up some of this wine, fortified with brandy, on the island of Madeira. And then, by the time it got here, it sloshed around a little. It was warm on the trip over. And that seemed to really have a nice effect on the wine. Well, sometimes that wine didn't get sold in Charleston, and it went back and then came back again. And that seemed to have an even better effect on the wine. So for a while, they were putting Madeira on ships and purposefully sailing it around, sloshing it good, getting it nice and hot, and then bringing it to Charlestown for sale. That is what people were really importing more than anything else right before the Revolution was Madeira. So countrywide prohibition begins in January of 1920, completely making alcohol sales illegal in the country. Well, the reason Charleston didn't really have a big problem with prohibition is we had prohibition in South Carolina 4 years before national prohibition. So we were already up and running, making illegal alcohol all over the place. National prohibition, not a big deal for us. One of the bigger things we made in the area was moonshine. Just outside of Charleston is a place in Berkeley County known as Hell Hole Swamp. And the moonshine from Hell Hole Swamp was lining the shelves in New York and being sold by Al Capone in Chicago. The most common way to get around selling alcohol was just to hide it in what we commonly refer to as a speakeasy. A speakeasy is a hidden place, often needing a password to get in, and you had to keep it quiet. You had to speak low or speak easy. Otherwise, everyone would know about it and it would get raided. So that's the origin of the term speakeasy. A blind tiger is a type of speakeasy. So they would advertise, come see the blind tiger. You would go and buy a ticket to see the blind tiger. And after a little while, they would come out and say something like, oh, the blind tiger has stage fright, and to make up for you not getting to see it, here's a drink. Not selling alcohol. There were also such things in Charleston known as striped pigs. Same idea, buy a ticket to see a striped pig, and then the pig never shows up, and you get your drink of alcohol. There's even a distillery in Charleston known as the Striped Pig Distillery today. Also in Charleston today is a great restaurant bar on Broad Street called the Blind Tiger, and it actually was a speakeasy during the days of Prohibition. In the back, underneath the floor, there's even access to tunnels that were used to hide and move alcohol around. The one negative thing that some people complained about Prohibition in Charleston is that it ruined our taste for fine liquors, because we got so used to drinking the moonshine from Hellhole Swamp that the other stuff really didn't matter much anymore. So there you have it. A blind tiger and a striped pig were types of speakeasies, and speakeasies were where you drank illegally during Prohibition. Like I said, Charleston didn't have a big problem with Prohibition. We were ready for it and certainly kept right on drinking. If you want more information about this subject, there's 2 great books, Wicked Charleston 1 and 2, written by Mark Jones, and Bulldog Tours does a fantastic tour called The Dark Side of Charleston, which delves more deeply into these things. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe. There are more videos coming. Until then, cheers.